Hello, everyone.
Hello.
I am so excited to be here with Agnieszka Crozier of Pro-Am in Poland. And of course, you know, we've been working on this campaign. We are trying to raise the audacious goal of $50,000 to support the ministry helping Ukrainian refugees. And Agnieszka, give us a little update of what's going on there. How are you helping these Ukrainian refugees? Think about someone who maybe hasn't seen the previous calls. Give a little short summary of what you're doing, and the part that I'm excited about, of course, is these are Christian educators in Poland, and we as Christian educators in America are helping them come alongside these Ukrainian refugees. And so I just love that. And of course, we have some some ministry connections to Pro-Am, which I'll share about later. But okay, Agnieszka, go ahead and give us the update. What are you doing, and what do you see God doing there?
Well, I mentioned before at our first meeting, but if you didn't hear, we turned the Christian camp property that we have in central Poland into the refugee camp 2 months ago, seeing the huge need of the Ukrainians, fleeing from their country and finding the rescue in Poland. Right now, it's over 2.5 million Ukrainians that entered Poland within last 2 months, which is a lot of people considering Poland being just, 37 million. So we as a camp, we are receiving people, we pick them up from the border and give them shelter and food and meet all of their needs. And at the same time, we're trying to help them to find a place that will be a little bit more permanent place for them. So since February 24th, we were able to serve over 700 Ukrainian refugees, 700 people who went through the camp, and some of them stayed for a few days, some of them stayed for 2 weeks, being helped. And then through Christian contacts, through Christian educators, Christian churches throughout Europe, we are helping them to find place to live for a little bit longer, for more permanently find a job. So we've seen them coming by buses to Netherlands, to Switzerland, to Germany, to Finland. But at the same time, we are trying to help them right here, because many of them wanting to stay in Poland, since Ukrainian is similar to Polish. It's easier to communicate here than somewhere west. So we also help families who are finding job near us, for example, in the city where our school is, when our church is, to find an apartment to rent, to find a job, to help them to furnish that apartment, to help them with a little bit of a rent at the beginning. And at the same, in our school, we received over 30 students within 2 months. Right now, for good, we have 28 Ukrainian students in our school. And we are helping in different way. First, providing education, possibility for them, but also teaching them Polish as well, to help them to adjust. We divide them into 3 different age groups, and we have a teacher who is a Russian teacher, Polish teacher who teaches Russian, and she teaches them Polish now to help them to adjust and to just feel better. We feed them, we provide everything that they need, all of the materials here in the school for them, and actually they are becoming our friends more and more now. Right now, it seems like it will be slowing down a little bit, and it is way less people coming to the border. But just yesterday, I've heard that there's still few thousand people every day crossing a Polish border from Ukraine. And it's not as intense as it was at the beginning, but still there is a huge need. So we are trying to help this way and to be the hands and love of Jesus for them. We do provide ability for them to meet and to worship. Every night there is a prayer time in Ukrainian led at the camp in our chapel, but also every Sunday we are receiving guests here. We are hoping them to come from the camp by buses and participate in our services. And just last Sunday, it was so beautiful to see. There were over 400 of us, which our church is about 200 people. So with all of the Ukrainian friends, it was over 400 people. And we've seen a beautiful baptism of 2 of the parents from our school who have kids in our school. And they've made the decision for Christ and they were being baptized, but also to see how God is touching the Ukrainian friends, and more of them, some at the beginning it was 50 of them, then 70 of them, then way more of them coming to our services on Sunday, needing the prayer, the worship time, the teaching, and doing it all together. We provide translation for them into Ukrainian for everything that is happening at the service, and trying to be as much as we can with serving, with food, with everyday basic necessities, but also not forgetting the spiritual need that they have. And we believe that God is going to use this time in an amazing way for them.
Amazing, amazing. Well, I want to make a little bit of announcement about our campaign. I'm very excited to say, if you go on our website right now, of course, if you click on ceai.org/Ukraine, you'll see the little progress bar there. And what it says is that we raised, as we're recording this morning, it says we raised $11,640 so far, which is amazing. Thank you for your generosity, all you Christian educators out there. And that's about 44%, I think, of the goal. As I recall, it was 44%. I'm not looking at it right now, but most of you know that we have a matching grant of 25,000. So we're gonna that 11,000 we're matching, all the way up to 25,000 for a hopefully a goal of $50,000 to help these precious refugees. And I'm making a big announcement this morning that we have gotten a pledge for this campaign for another 12,500. If you add that to the 11,640, that gets us to 24,140. That means we are only $860 away from that $20,000 goal and matching it to $50,000. So I'm so excited to be able to send those resources. 100% of that goes to Pro-Am. Christian Educators is not keeping a dime. We are just trying to facilitate what God is doing for these precious refugees. So thank you, Unisha, so much for what you're doing.
No, thank you guys. That is amazing for us. It is really humbling and really moving, to see that people who almost completely don't know us, except Heather, maybe personally, that you are willing to help. And we are very, very thankful for it. And we definitely will use it right, firsthand with the needs that we have here for many different things that they need. Basically, now it's mainly to help them to establish and to be, more permanently in Poland until the war is over. Thank you so very much.
Yes, and I should have started this call by introducing Heather as well, but some of you may be wondering who this other person is next to us. Heather Conan is our awake director, and she's going to be visiting you next month, next month in May. For a conference there. And so thank you, Heather, for your connection to Pro-Am and helping facilitate that for Christian educators.
Yes, I have had the privilege and blessing to be over in Europe and get to know the heart of the educator in Europe. And I want to say it's the same heart as the educator in the United States. We have so much in common. And I know all the Christian educators that I work with, if we were in a similar situation, we're the people in the front lines, like loving on kids and serving. And so I know that your teachers are giving of themselves, I'm sure, in amazing ways. And we want to lift them up in prayer. We want to know, how can we pray for the teachers that serve in your school?
Yes, well, you can definitely pray for peace and for wisdom, because it's all new situation for us. Our school is not super big. It's about 450 students, and adding almost new 30 Ukrainian students, it does influence the dynamics of it. We want to be loving and caring and helping, but some of us do not speak the language. I am from the generation that was forced to learn Russian so I can communicate with them, but all the younger teachers can't do it. So they are trying with mix of English and with hands, with Google Translate to help them. So just for the patients and for just to encourage them to keep doing, we are by the end of the school year, which is always a little bit, difficult after, so many months, but that we will be the Jesus's hands and light and love to all of those kids, and that will be strong all the way to the end, that we'll be able to help them.
We will definitely pray for that.
Yeah.
And if you don't mind, I would like to share one little story with you. It just was so moving to me. Just last week, I was able to drive one Ukrainian lady from our camp to Tomashov, to city where the school is. And I asked her, so what are her plans? What is she planning to do? She's here with her 6-year-old daughter. And she was so positive and so encouraging. She said, "Oh, I think everything will be wonderful. It will be all good." She said, "I am leaving to Netherlands on Wednesday from the bus from the camp that we organized, and I will stay with some Christian families. I will work there. I will hopefully will be able to make enough money to buy a ticket to America, where I have friends in California, and then I will move there. I will work there. We'll start our new life." And I was like, "What about your husband? Because your husband is still fighting." And she's like, "I totally trust and believe God, that my husband, when this war will be over, will come back, will join me, and we'll start the whole new life. And
Oh,
God knows better than us what is good for us." So I was totally humbled by her. She was so positive. She was like, "I know and trust, and I have hope. God knows what is best for us. And even in all of those difficulties around, I believe it will be a wonderful new life." And I
mm,
was sitting, driving a car, and I couldn't stop crying because
oh,
I was so amazed by her faith and her trust and her, hope in
mm,
what God can do. It was absolutely unbelievable. And many of them are like that. That could be an example for us, while we supposed to be an example and encouragement for them. So, and it's just one of many stories, but that was so special to me because she's just a young girl, and she was like, "Everything will be great because God is with us, and I trust that He will lead us through, and it will be a wonderful, wonderful time for us in the future." And that's my hope, she said.
amazing. Well, when she gets to California, put her in touch with me. We might be able to offer
Okay,
her some assistance.
okay,
So
yeah,
California's a big place, who knows where she'll be, but
yeah,
if
yeah.
she's close by, we'll see what we can do. So awesome. Well, thank you so much, Agnieszka. We're so excited for this partnership. We're so thankful that we can be part of Jesus' hands and feet. And yes, Agnieszka is busy taking kids to youth groups, so that's why she's getting some interruptions
Yeah,
there.
I'm
But
like making sounds
yeah,
with them.
I know. So we'll finish this up. Heather, why don't you go ahead and close us in prayer and pray over Pro-Am there.
Oh, yes, for sure. Lord, we just love you. Thank you for how we get to see you moving and working through this situation.